Hey everybody, so this is going to be part 3 in the ZR1X wide body installation series. I'll give you a quick update. I spoke with Don from SS Vets regarding the ZR1X kit that I have on order. He let me know that he's going to be picking up the parts next week from the shop. And once he picks them up, then he'll be working on any final finish work before he ships them out. So I'm thinking maybe another 3 to 4 weeks before I receive the fenders, the quarters, and the side skirts. So in the meantime, I'm going to continue on my project. The next piece that I'm going to be installing is a new Alpine head unit. Now this is what I have in here now. This is also an Alpine head unit, and I'll be putting this up for sale. I'll be replacing this with one of the oversized flat screen Alpine, the Halo9. The ILX-F309. In this video, I'm going to cover the removal of this head unit, which includes the removal of the center console and then installing the new head unit, as well as a complete review on how it looks with the oversized screen in my interior. You can see I have a hydro-dipped carbon fiber coating on the center console. And I also have that here on the gauge bezel. And those are the only pieces that I did in the interior. I didn't want to overdo it, and I think it looks great just the way that it is. I have blue LEDs. You can see the blue lights coming down. I'm actually going to be replacing those with red, which is going to match the carpets that I have. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this cover, and I have 4 Torx screws that I'm going to be removing, and I have a T15 I'm going to be removing those with. Okay, got those removed. This piece just comes right off. I'm going to set this aside. Well, the next piece that you want to remove is this boot over your parking brake, and it's held in by a couple of clips. It lifts up. You have to be very careful when you're removing this that you don't break those clips. Okay, there we go. I'm just going to pull that out of the way. Okay, the next piece that I'm going to pop out is this plastic piece here that has your airbag indicator. That just pops right up. You have a connector in the bottom. You just need to depress this. You have to push it pretty hard, and then it comes apart. I'm going to set this aside. So you have 2 right here, 2 7mm. I'm going to remove those. And there's another 2 on the side. Now there's a side piece that runs along here that once these bolts are out, you should be able to get it out. Now the bolts hold in this back part, and up here there's a couple clips that hold it in, so you have to kind of pull it down like this, down on an angle. There it goes. Here you go. See these 2 clips? I'm going to set this aside. And now this console is loose, and there's a series of clips that run through here that hold it together. In order to release it, you need to take the car out of park if you have an automatic like mine. So I'm just going to slide this back. parking brake up because it was in the way. And now the console is loose. Now we have a couple of other wired connections that we need to unhook. You have your stability control, which is right here. And you also have, if you have heated seats, you have your heated seat connections, and then your hazard lights up here. So let's go ahead and get those disconnected. I'm going to start with the hazards. Okay, got the hazard disconnected. The other connectors are similar. Okay, now I have all my connectors unhooked, and this should lift right out. I have one more. Forgot the other cigarette lighter. So let's set this aside. I'm going to put the car back in park. So you can see, let me show you these connectors. Okay, so here are the plugs. You can see just have this little part that depresses. This one also push down. Now this one, the connector that this plugs into, I believe that this is for the stability control. There's another part that you actually have to lift up and then slide the connector out. So that one's a little bit different. Heated seat switches, pressed, the same on the other side. And then the cigarette lighter up here. Again, you just push that down. And then the last one, I'll give you a close-up of the hazards. Let's turn this. So this one also is the press. Push this down, and that releases. Okay, so the new head unit that I purchased is a larger screen, but it's a single DIN application. So I had to buy an adapter from a double DIN to a single DIN. I unplugged the harnesses from the back of the head unit. You had this, which was the main part of the harness, the antenna, which is right here. Have the microphone and my RCAs for my subwoofers. I also have this adapter box, and that's so the head unit will interface properly with the Corvette Bose system. This is the adapter part number. And then also you have this Bose adapter for the speakers. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is mount the new Alpine to the new adapter plate. And so this piece right here slides in and out, depending on how far away you want it to sit from the dash. And I wanted mine to be closer to the dash. So there's 2 screws here at the bottom and 2 screws in the top that need to be removed. And then you slide this piece in. This is what it looks like in the all the way in position. And then I put those screws back in. Next, I need to adjust the level, the height, where I want this to sit. So there's 2 screws here and 2 screws on this side, and then I can slide this up and down. And then there's also a tilt adjustment right here. So I'm going to see if I want to adjust the tilt at all based on where it's going to sit. But I think it's going to be fine, the tilt right where it is. Okay, so what I did, because I wanted this to angle towards me, a little bit is I just made an adjustment on the screws here. So it just angles it a little bit toward the driver. It's slight, but I don't know if you can see it, but this side sticks out about a 1/4 inch further than the other side. So here's what I'm using to complete the wiring. I have shrink tubing, soldering iron, wire strippers, the heat gun, and some electrical tape. Okay, now I have all my connections made, everything's shrink wrapped. Now I'm just gonna use some zip ties to try to make the wires a little bit more neat. Let me fire up the car and make sure that everything turns on properly. Okay, now I'm gonna make my connections. I'm going to push the console in and engage the clips. The installation is finally complete. This is what it looks like. Adapters to get this to display how I wanted it to. I want to switch this to HDMI. Set up screen mirroring on my phone. This is connected through a cable. Initially I tried doing it with Apple TV, but it didn't display properly, so I just used an adapter from Lightning to HDMI, and then it plugs into the back of the radio. Connecting. Now it should be connected. Oh, now you can see monitoring all my vehicle information right there on the screen. So there's probably 100 different sensors that this can monitor. And you can set up other dashboards as well. You can really set up an unlimited number of dashboards. So it's pretty cool. What I am using to display this information, this app, ODB Fusion. A Bluetooth ODB reader that's plugged in right under here, my ODB port. So that communicates with my phone, and my phone transmits the information onto my screen. I can scroll through my different sources here. Now I can connect this back to my CarPlay. Also, you'll notice that I have my setup screen. Let me turn this off, and I'm going to turn it back on, and you'll see my startup screen. Right there. So that's user programmable. You can set up whatever startup screen you want. Now the sound quality of this Alpine, this is the ILX-F309. spent a little bit of time fine-tuning the parameters and setting up the crossover, and now this thing sounds awesome. It sounds even better than my old Alpine that I had in here. So that's it for this project. Quick update on the wide body. I spoke with SS Vets. My kit should be